I'm like, Dad, it's very dark. Which is a tiny person way of saying it's 3 in the morning. I'm like, it's very dark. It's time to go to sleep. He's like, yes, it is very dark. And the moon is very beautiful. Come on, Isabel, I'm so glad you're here. Come with me, come with me. And he reaches down to take my hand. And he's so much taller than me at this point that he like has to bend over, stoop to reach my hand, and he kinda like walks me out of the house like that. And I'm so small I can't actually see the moon above the other building. So he lifts me up onto this porch railing. So my bare feet are on the porch railing and his hands are on my shoulders. And we watch the moon in the darkness until eventually I tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, Dad, it's time to go to bed now. It's like, yeah. So we go back inside. So one day, we're outside watching the moon as normal. He's like, do you smell something weird? I'm like, I think it smells like smoke. It's like, I think it does smell like smoke. I'm like, Dad, did you see that little red plume off kind of to the right of the moon? Do you know what that is? He's like, it kind of looks like flames to me. So there's flames just billowing up from behind the moon. Kind of awesome. And there's smoke blowing towards our house, just wafting in. He's like, Isabel, I think there's a house on fire. Let's go see. So he lifts me up on the railing, puts me on his shoulders. I've got like one bare foot sticking out on either side of his face. I wasn't wearing all my pajamas because I'm small, so I kind of like took some of them off, you know. And we start walking through the neighborhood looking for this house on fire. We don't find the house on fire, but that wasn't really the point because I'm exploring the night with my dad. And at this point, we start going home. The sun is rising up over the edge of the buildings and just filled with this feeling of connection and love for my father because we're exploring together. And I want to communicate this to him, but I'm kind of young and I'm not sure how to communicate effectively at this point. So, what I decided to do is ask him what animal he thinks I am today. Because that's my other favorite game. Like, sometimes I'm a crocodile and I spend whole weeks as a toucan. So, my dad, guess what animal I am today? And he says, are you a toucan? I'm like, no. Because I was totally a toucan. But I didn't want him to guess it right away. Like, he needs to put a little more effort into this game. He says, are you a crocodile? I'm like, no, because I wasn't a crocodile. At this point, he keeps guessing other animals. And I'm getting more and more invested and curious because, like, at this point, neither my dad or I know the correct answer. If I'm not a toucan, what animal am I? The possibilities are endless here. So he keeps going through animals, eventually gets to some kind of animal that I think is a pretty good substitute for a toucan. I'm like, yeah, I'm a giraffe. So Dad and his giraffe are walking home together. Like, Dad, is it bad to be more than one animal in a day? He said, you can be whatever animal you want. What animal you want to be, honey? I'm like, I want to be a toucan. Like, you can be a toucan. At this point, we're home, and you should have seen Dad open that front door. Like, he just turned the latch so slowly so it made no sound at all. And he takes his toucan down and he whispers very quietly, tells his toucan to be extra silent in the hall so as not to wake up Mom. I'm supposed to go down. It's daylight by now. I'm supposed to lie down in bed for like half an hour before I get back up. And if I'm still a toucan in the morning, he will talk to me then. Like, okay. So I start panning down the hallway and I'm like, Dad. And he's like, shh. I'm like, right. Dad, can we watch the moon every night? And he kind of smiles at me. He's like, it's not always this beautiful.